All right, so I'm just going to switch the slide deck. All right. Is this on? Am I audible? Ladies and gentlemen, am I audible? Yes, yes. Okay, all right. And is the slides on? Slides are not on. Can you help me with the slides, please? It's on here. Okay, all right. You're on the slide. So I think the team from Radware has set a very good baseline for all of us to understand in the cloud computing era how important performance is, how important security is. And I think they're doing a brilliant job doing it from the data center perspective. What I'm going to do now in the next few minutes is build on what they've already said, build on what they've already demoed, and see how we can take it to the internet, how we can take it to the network, and provide acceleration, provide security. So I'm going to build on exactly what they've said. But before we do that, let's just take a couple of minutes and talk about what Akamai is. So quick round of agenda. We're going to talk about a little bit about Akamai, the technology overview, and the value proposition for e-governance initiatives. So Akamai Technologies, who is Akamai? So founded in 1998 as part of a research project, we are a 14-year-old company with $1 billion+ in revenue. We are a global worldwide operation, and our commitment to India has been there since 2005. We are operating in this country across 3 cities today, and we are servicing more than 100 customers, both from content acceleration, security, and mobility. So that's a little bit about historical data about Akamai. Moving forward to the current scenario, what Akamai does. I think we touch our lives every day. This morning, if you happen to read a newspaper online, you're getting that content from Akamai. If you happen to book your tickets from a premier airline in this country, you're getting your tickets delivered via Akamai. If you happen to renew your general insurance for your car, or you happen to take a travel insurance, you're getting that content from Akamai. So what is Akamai? So Akamai is a content delivery network. So we don't host content. We are not application development company. So we don't build websites or applications. So what does that we exactly do? We are able to take the content that's there on the internet and deliver it effectively. So think of us as the courier boys over the internet. We are the FedEx of the internet, the Indian Postal Express service of the internet. That's exactly what we do. And now, given that we are able to do all this, we can extend this offering to any online initiative that you may have today on the internet. If I have to bucket what Akamai does, I'll put it under 4 categories. Internet and cloud delivery. So irrespective whether you're using a cloud-hosted data center or you're using your own data center within your premises or within the ISP's premises, we will help you with delivery. Now, when I say we'll help you with delivery, just hang on for one slide. I'm going to talk exactly what we do. Coming to media, some of the biggest events that have happened worldwide and in this country, if you have happened to watch them on internet, you're probably getting it from Akamai. The World Cup that India won, a premier cricket sporting league that happens every year, the royal wedding that happened. I could just go on and on and on. If you have happened to watch all this over the internet, you're getting it from Akamai. Today, you access a lot of content on your tablets, your mobiles, and we can help you there, not only deliver your websites, but even streaming to your mobiles and your tablets. And last but not the least, and what our friends from Radware just said, security is important. They do a great job in your data center how to protect security. What I'm going to do is stop it at the source from where the attack comes, and I'm going to explain that in a matter of next few minutes. So Akamai's offerings are bucketed under these 4 categories. Delivery of content. So as I said, the papers that you read online, the tickets that you book, the streams that you consume, or the general insurance policies that you take online, everything is coming through Akamai. So what is Akamai? And I covered what Akamai is. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about how we do what we do. So at the base of all this is an Akamai Intelligent Platform. Now what is an Akamai Intelligent Platform? It's a set of distributed set of servers deployed in different cities, countries, and ISPs. So to give you an analogy, let's just assume all of you sitting in front of me are Akamai servers. These are physical servers that are deployed in different data centers of different ISPs all over the world, including India. We have a very strong presence in India as well, but just to highlight certain stats. Now, the platform is a set of distributed servers on which an Akamai built software is residing, and now we are able to do a lot of things because of the software. Just to put some stats into perspective, today we have more than 120,000 servers globally distributed, and we do close to about 8 terabits per second worldwide. That's the kind of capacity this platform offers to you as you get on this platform. Now, if anybody has a lot of money, we could potentially buy these many servers and deploy it. So what's the big thing? The big thing lies in what we're able to do because of this, and that's exactly what I'm going to cover now. So this is the visualization that I'm trying to tell you. So you have the origin where you host your content. This could be a website, this could be an application, this could be an eGov application. And what we're going to do is, we're going to have these Akamai servers sitting in front of you. So if I have to map it to an analogy, let's assume I'm the server, which is hosting the content, and all of you are Akamai servers sitting in front of me. Now, the key thing to be noted over here is, as end users want to access this content, they don't have to come all the way to me. They're going to get a content from a server that's closest to them. And what our stats tell us is 90% of the users in this country are one hop away from an Akamai server, which means the content that they consume is coming from a server that's sitting in the same ISP as what they have their connectivity from. And there are huge benefits because of this. First of all, the latency between the server and the end user is the least. Secondly, there's also an Akamai server that's closest to your data center. So the point I'm trying to land is there's a server that's closer to the data center, there's a server that's closer to the end user, and now with all this, we are able to do a lot of magic in the cloud, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about. So as you get this content from the server that's closest to you, we are able to do a couple of things. So one is content that's common, that's static, that is repeated for all users, we could potentially cache it. It's going to be delivered from a server that's sitting closest to the end user, which means from your infrastructure perspective, you will see less number of hits coming to you. That gives you scalability. You are able to deliver a more number of users for the same infrastructure that you already have. You're going to give performance to your end users. Now, your end users are getting content from a server that's closest to them, which means the page load times are going to be super fast. Third, what we can do is we're going to make it highly more available, because content that's not cacheable, content that's something that's personalized. So let's say I give you an example about booking an airline ticket. There's nothing to cache over there. I could route those requests, accelerate them all the way back to the data center where it's hosted. Thereby, even if there are problems on the internet, I'm able to route them successfully and make sure I complete the transaction. And that's exactly what I'm going to refer in the next 2 slides. So think of us as the 4th layer over the internet. You have your database layer on which you have your data, your app layer, your web layer. The network becomes your 4th layer, and that's where Akamai helps you from a cloud optimization perspective. And we are able to deliver your content across screens. And the beauty of all this is we are IPv6 ready. So the problem that's going to hit all of us very soon is the IPv6 connectivity, because the first device that comes on IPv6, you need to make sure that your infrastructure is ready to deliver content to that. And that's exactly what we can help you with as well, because we are IPv6 ready. So key value propositions: performance. Performance being the single most critical factor in multiple applications or websites. If you improve the end user experience, you're going to have a better adaptability of that online initiative, be it eGov, be it commerce, be it enterprise class applications. Security, I think our friends from Radware talked a great deal about DDoS attacks, SQL injection attacks. Now, given the fact that Akamai is sitting in between the attacker and your origin infrastructure, the attacker is actually attacking Akamai. I'm going to talk about that as well. We're going to increase the availability of your application, and we're going to make it more scalable. So let's quickly talk about acceleration, and that's going to help you improve performance. So classic scenario, you have an end user who's requesting content from content that's hosted in a data center, be it cloud, be it your own data center. What we're able to do is, first principle, find a better route back to the origin. We need not rely on the route that is advertised by the ISP. That is one of the routes we could potentially use, but given our massive deployment, we are able to find an alternate route. So even if there are cable cuts, even if there is a packet loss in one of the transit ISPs, we'll make sure that your end user's request will reach your data center, and you're able to process it. So that's the first principle. Make sure that you find the best possible performing route over the internet, and choose that. Once you have chosen that route, in which case this is the alternate route that I've chosen, I'm going to make it fatter. But before I get there, what's the impact? This is a real world example where there was a Middle East cable cut. Internet connectivity for India was seriously disrupted, but customers who are on Akamai continued to perform simply because we were able to take an alternate route. And all this happens without any manual intervention. Be it 2 a.m. in the night, you don't need to worry about it. The system autocorrects and self-corrects itself. Now, the second benefit that we bring is, now that you've found a better performing route, make it fatter. deliver more data over the same route. So applying TCP optimizations, we are able to transfer more amount of data between the server and the end user. Now you could argue, hey, I'm already doing TCP optimization from my data center, but the problem is you're not, okay. The problem is you're not controlling the other end. The benefit with Akamai is we are controlling both the boxes, the one near the data center, the one near the end user, and we're able to apply TCP optimization, thereby transferring a better throughput. The third thing, and I talked about this, is edge caching. So content that's common, style sheets, JavaScripts, images, PDFs, Swift files, could all be cached and delivered off a cached network. It doesn't hit your infrastructure anymore, which means your infrastructure is going to scale. So content that is pulled once is cached, and all subsequent requests are delivered of the cache itself. Compression, that's huge. You could do compression at your origin, but that's CPU intensive. What we could do is we could do it on your behalf, thereby reducing the overheads, reducing the compute that you need, and making sure that we are able to scale your infrastructure. This is an interesting one. We all know that a browser, when it gets the content, doesn't get it in one shot. It has to get the base page, parse it, get style sheets, JavaScripts, images, which means there's a lot of chattiness, a lot of back and forth that happens between the browser and the origin server. Now what we are able to do is, as we get the content, parse it, deliver the content to the end user. Before the end user's browser makes a request for this content, get everything ready. Keep everything ready. We know what's coming next, and deliver whatever has been asked for from the server that's nearer to the end user. Now all these things put together are going to give you acceleration, are going to give you performance, are able to give you scalability, and what's also able to give you reliability for your end users so that there's better adoption of your online initiative. Now where all you can put this? This could be put in citizen services portals, self-service portals, bill payments, tax payments. We all are going to be paying advanced tax by tomorrow. Now this is seasonality. Should they be provisioning for peak that's going to hit them tomorrow, or should they provision for average and use an elastic cloud computing platform which could help them scale when there is more demand? Government to business initiatives, e-tendering, e-bidding, education, and ticketing systems, of course, be it for bus, rail, flights, events. So these are some of the areas where Akamai can potentially help you. And last but not the least, I'm going to leave you about with security as well, because that's critical. Now, given the fact that Akamai is sitting in between you and the end users, think of this. Layer 3, Layer 4, which are the traditional attacks, the attacker is not even hitting you. It's hitting Akamai. And we're looking at a scale of 120,000 servers. So the attacker is never going to get up to you. The second thing that we've done is we have built a layer 7 capability within those servers. So even if it's a layer 7 attack, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, we're able to stop it at the source. It's not coming all the way to your data center, which means you're going to not have any collateral damage. Your application is going to continue with the class of service that you expect to do for your genuine users. Now, just to put some stats in perspective, the single largest attack that we have faced and seen and stopped for a user was from Asia, or sorry, for an enterprise was from Asia, and the order was 125 gigabits per second. I can trust you, ladies and gentlemen, no data center can take 125 gigabits per second of attack and make sure that the application continues to behave. This is the scale of the platform. The platform scales on itself, and the beauty of it is complementary to what you have. You don't have to do away with what you have. Keep what you have. This adds on to what you already have and works in tandem with it. So an illustration of what I just said, if attacker is attacking, it's attacking an Akamai server. Sure, they can get an Akamai server down. We'll redirect the user to one of our other servers. No big deal. So I want you to take away 4 key things. Anytime you have an online initiative, be it for eGov, be it for enterprise, be it for any type of industry, 4 value propositions: performance, security, availability, and scalability. And that's what Akamai can help you. I have my colleagues over here. If you have any more questions, we're happy to take and answer them. And I'll give it back to the chair to take it further.